Okay, the FA Cup semi-final draw has been made. Wolves have drawn Watford. Man City have drawn Brighton. I was hoping for a Watford Wolves final. I really was. They've both really impressed me in the cup this season. They're both dark horses. Wolves had a dominant display against Man United last night. Watford uh, had to battle against Palace, but showed some true grit and determination to get through them. Man City had a big scare against Swansea and actually were very, very lucky to win that game. And there was no VAR at that game, of course. And had there been, they might have lost that game 2-1 rather than won it 3-2. And we can debate that until, the sun goes down. Brighton had to battle today against Millwall, but they showed some true character and grit to come through that game. They were well off the pace, well off the boil. The weather was terrible at the Den today, especially in the second half. And also there was a lot of rain overnight as well, so that pitch would have been quite energy-sapping pitch. But Brighton battle through that. That's not going to be an easy game for Man City, considering that they're trying to go for 4 trophies. That's fixture congestion. Then they've now second in the Premier League. Liverpool have won today in the Premier League against Fulham, so that makes it a bit more. Are Man City going to want to win the league, the Champions League, the FA Cup? Are they capable of winning 4 trophies? Because this time last year we were debating whether they would win 4 trophies. Then they got knocked out the FA Cup by Wigan. So Man City. They're into the quarterfinals of the Champions League. They've got through to the semi-finals of the FA Cup. They've already won the League Cup, but it hasn't always been easy going. They had to go to a penalty shootout in the League Cup. So, Man City's squad depth has been tested. There's a few injuries there. Watford Wolves, I think, is going to possibly be the most open game of the two. I think both sides are just going to go for it. It's their best chance of silverware for a generation. Watford have been to a few FA Cup semi-finals in recent times. Wolves were last at a semi-final in 1998, but have actually got some history in this competition in the 50s and 60s. They last won in 1960, beating my team, Blackburn Rovers, where a certain Dave Whelan was playing for Blackburn that day and broke his leg, hence his retirement and hence why he set up the JJB Sports Company, the DW Sports sports shop, because he broke his leg that day but still wanted to be involved with football. And then subsequently he bought Wigan, who have, guess what, won the FA Cup. So it's going to be interesting. The matches are to be played on the 6th and 7th of April. Hopefully the weather is a lot better than it has been today, although it has started to clear up now. The weather the last few days has been terrible. There's been a lot of heavy rain, heavy snow in parts of the country. There's been flooding. The Brighton game, if you were watching that on the TV just an hour ago, the second half of normal time, 3 hailstorms and a bit of sleet and heavy rain hit the Millwall-Brighton Cup tie. If you're watching the rugby yesterday, that was some really, really bad weather as well. Heavy rain, bits of sleet flying around. So hopefully the weather is a lot better at the beginning of April than it has been in March. It's going to be interesting to see who makes the final. Crikey, we could see Brighton upset Man City, and Watford Wolves could be a thriller. I've been really impressed with how Watford and Wolves have played this season. Very impressed with Wolves last night against Manchester United in the Cup. Really impressed with how they performed. So it's all to play for. Man City have the best chance this season to win 4 trophies than they did last season. They have had issues in the FA Cup though, against lower ranked opposition. Although they've won it a few times, they haven't won it with Guardiola. And that FA Cup final against Wigan in 2013, they were not good enough. They were caught out, admittedly, by a side that was a Premier League side, but they did get relegated that year, did Wigan, but they were caught out by Wigan. They've been caught out by Wigan again last season in the FA Cup. They have shown some frailties in defence this season. Injuries are mounting up. Watford Wolves, that's just going to be fun. Brighton have shown some true character today, and they should not be underestimated. I think they're safe in the Premier League. I think they're going to really go for it as well. So this is 2 really interesting cup ties, and 3 teams in here, like Watford, Wolves and Brighton, that many people at the beginning of the season would not have thought would have got this far. So there we go. It's going to be interesting. 6th and 7th of April, book it in your diaries, and we could have some really, we could have we could have a Wolves-Brighton final or a Watford-Man City final. The permutations are insane, but it's going to be an interesting weekend at the beginning of April. So thank you very much for watching. Place your thoughts below, and we'll have some more videos for you soon.